Hi everyone, my name is Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over what this training session for agility looked like with ammo. So as you can see, I have just like an ice cream pail lid on the ground, and that's where I'm putting the treats for training. But I'm trying to really enforce Ammo's spot command, her stopping contacts, because she has been getting a little cheaty, and it is a little difficult to reinforce it sometimes during a competition, where basically she's stopping higher up on a piece of equipment than what I prefer she was doing. I really want her to be right at the bottom, and then when I release her, she can go. So the teeter-totter wasn't that big of a deal. It's really the A-frame that she does. So I have the tunnel there as well to do some name differentiation while I'm also training the stopping contacts. But see how high up she stops? So I just grab her collar, and then she gets the treats for being down there. Good spot. And then she gets rewarded. So then I put the treats down, we go back, and I tell her frame, 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 spot, 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 and look it, now she goes all the way down to the ground. And that's what we really worked on, and I'm going to keep on doing that for future sessions. And I send her through the tunnel. But if this is something you like seeing, I will do my best to record more training sessions and explain afterwards kind of what we did. It's just difficult when I'm actively training a dog to also explain while I'm focusing on what I'm doing. So I'll set up a camera and talk afterwards, and then you can watch. This one, you'll see there was a bit of a tragedy that struck. So there we go. I told her to tunnel and she went up the frame, and she knows, so that's why she went back down. I said, try again, and then she went tunnel. And that's the thing with ammo, is some dogs with agility, if they mess up, they suck. Like, they just, I hate my life. This is so bad. But I can tell her, no, you did something wrong. And she goes, oopsies, and tries again. And that's a really beautiful trait that she has that I know not every dog will have that I work with. But being able to utilize that with her is a really good thing. So I'm trying to get her to do it again. There we go, tunnel, and then go frame. Spot, spot, spot. There we go. But basically, I'm trying to also work on myself moving less, because she's so fast. So the more she does the moving and the less I do the moving, the easier it will be for me to compete. So this is why I'm actively just walking everywhere, even though in a competition I'll probably be running. Because if I can get her to do things from really far away in a competition when I'm closer to her, it should be easier. And obviously, this is just training, but when I do actual practice run-throughs, I'm not just walking the entire time all the time. I do it sometimes just for a challenge, but it's not an everyday, all the time thing for me. So here you go. You can't really see. I'm having her do a little bit of a sequence just for fun. I'm practicing my rear crosses, and then spot, spot, spot. Look at that. What a nice spot. Some people do the 2 on, 2 off. I'm going to, and that's the thing too, I think I confused her because I started with that, but then for the teeter-totter, she did all 4 on. So I'm going to just do all 4 on, but at the very bottom of the agility equipment that I'm using. So I'm very happy with her spots. And then I sent her out, get out and around. But yeah, so this is pretty unedited, and you can kind of really see the training process. And obviously, with her being a dog that is well trained already, and I have done a lot of things with, it does make things where they're more just me doing repetition and me not having to put in a whole lot of work. Also, I need to point out right now that I am recording this in a 0.5 lens. This is not how I look. When I got close to the camera, I looked so wide, and that is because of the 0.5 lens. So that way you can see more of the surroundings, but everything also looks a little stretched out the closer you get. And I swear I don't actually look like that in person. That's so funny. But yeah, so most of my agility stuff will be recorded in 0.5 millimeter. So see, I'm trying to send her out and around. There we go. And I'm actively trying to keep things myself very slow and then speed things up for her. Now she thinks the lid is a frisbee because I was teasing her with it. She's so silly. So now I'm practicing some name differentiation. I'm telling her either frame or tunnel. And tragedy is probably going to strike soon. I don't exactly remember when it happened, but it was tragic. Look at that little naughty. She's so sassy. After this, we work on her not being a little such and such, not nice word, about giving toys back. She gets to tease everyone because they let her, and that's something, me personally, I'm not okay with her toys. And so after tragedy strikes, I'm like, okay, no, we're gonna just end the session practicing you giving me a toy. But yeah, see, I'm practicing different approaches. And there, she cheated too, but see, I just correct her. She doesn't get to have her fun. There, that was so nice. I'm so proud of her. Because no matter where I am, like, not all agility courses will be nice and linear. So I'm trying to make it where she can do a tunnel or a frame from any location. Because she's very tunnel sucked. She would prefer tunnel over frame. There we go. Very nice. And I did record this a while back, and then I was crippled with the idea of having to do taxes. So that's why there was such a gap in videos, because the idea of taxes is crippling to me. So that'll be when I probably take my breaks, is every tax season. But yeah, so taxes are done, we back, we're good, and everything's fine. But I'm so afraid of the IRS. But see, look at that. That was not good. She just went, I want to do tunnel. So I said, try again. And she goes, oh, shoot. There we go. Very nice. But that's where... Perfect. Look at that. That was excellent. And obviously, in different positions, you can kind of see that I'm able to block the point of entry. But it's not always the case. So that's why I'm doing this from all different locations. And this is something, if you have a tunnel, if you have a contact, and if you have 2 jumps, you can do that too. But look at that. She just wants to do tunnels. So I'm like, nope. And she goes, oh, shoot. Because I'm telling her, listen to me. Follow where I'm pointing. There we go. Very nice. Oh, wait, shoot. I wanted her to get out. And she didn't get out either. Don't mind Gunner dreaming in the background. So see, I'm trying to do this far away, but if she doesn't get it after a few tries, I'll take a little bit of a step closer. Because now she's going, I don't know what to do. I just would rather do this instead. There we go. And you just gotta soldier through it. And it's either dogs are super anxious and don't want to do it because they're anxious, or they start developing opinions like Ammo, where they know what's more fun and what's less fun. And she just wants to go to the tunnel part. That's the fun part for her. So I have to make sure that she knows, oh, well, even though this is fun for you, you'll still get to, but I need you to do this for me first. So now I'm trying it on the far away side, and we're doing the same thing. Just get out, do figure 8, and then I tell her either tunnel or frame, and very nice, very good. And I'm making sure she's spotting still, because see, now she cheated a little bit. So now I help her down, I grab her by that collar and make it happen, and then yay, good spot. That's the one thing. Every time I do agility, I'm gonna passively make spot more rewarding for her with some treats. But at the end of the day, as long as she's touching the contact, that's what matters. But I don't want her to start getting to the point where... Oh, see, she cheated there. I don't want her to start getting to the point where she is cheating so high up, where she isn't touching the contact. So that's the main thing for me. And she doesn't do this for all frames, I've noticed. So that makes it a little tricky. But I do think since mine is a little elevated off the ground, because I always have the wheels out. And then that's where she ripped my nail off. And that's where tragedy strikes. And there was blood everywhere. So now after that, I went, ah! Like, that really hurt. And that startled her. So now I have to get her to not feel guilty. But now we're working on... giving the toy back. So I ran inside, blood's gushing everywhere, put a band-aid over my nail. I'm in pain, but I'm like, we can't end it where she's suddenly terrified of her frisbee because she hurt me. So I'm playing with her, but then I'm really working on you give it to me and I don't care. And she's gotten a lot better. We did a fetch trial, obviously, and she can't tease me like that. But that's the thing with agility, is she knows there's less rules in agility and she will push it and push it. So basically what she did was she gave me the toy, I grabbed it, she decided she wasn't done and went to yank it back and bent my nail backwards in the process. She didn't bite me, she didn't do anything, but that is very rude for a dog to do, and I know she knows she's not supposed to do that, and she knows better. But she really likes agility, she really likes the lack of rules in agility, so in this case, yes, I had to instill some rules. And a lot of people say, oh, in agility you can't tell your dog no. If your dog physically hurts you, you can most definitely tell them no and show them what's acceptable. But see, now she's like, I'm just gonna drop it, because when I handed it to Dana, she yelled in pain, so I'm just gonna set it on the ground. And I go, no, you have to hand it to my hand, you have to give it to me, and you have to let go. So this is all something I'm holding her accountable for her actions. There, perfect, even if it takes a little bit more time, and then we do some agility. And we go back to what we're doing. But I had to break it down, I had to do that, and I had to make that happen.